Normally, a car and its occupants move around at the same speed. But when an external force is applied to the car, in this case by the crash test block, the occupants continue to move forward at the same speed until a force is applied to them. This resistance to a change in motion is called inertia, and it applies even when the velocity is zero. It's this property that enables people to do things like this. The china on the table stays pretty much at rest even when the tablecloth's pulled from under it. That's because there's not enough sideways frictional force to overcome the china's inertia and get it to move. Back to the crash test. Because they're not wearing seat belts, inertia means the occupants of this car continue travelling forwards until the windscreen applies the force to stop them.
Let's look at the inertia here. You can see the vehicle coming forward, it's stopping, but the occupants carry on because there's nothing stopping them carry on. That's the basic Newton's law here.
Newton's first law gives us the idea that in a car crash, things keep going until something stops them. First used in the 1950s, seatbelts provide an external force that counteracts the passenger's inertia, bringing them to a halt in a more controlled way.
The Institute survey found that full-time belt use is lower in the rear seat, and that's especially true for people who primarily get around by taxi or ride-hailing service. Less than 60% of people who said they frequently take taxis or use ride-hailing services said they always wear their belt. A quarter of respondents said they believe the rear seat is safer, so using a belt there is unnecessary. If you're not belted in the rear, you're putting yourself at risk, and you're also putting other people in the vehicle at risk. People belted in the front seat can be injured or killed by unbelted occupants in the rear flying forward in a crash. We recently conducted a test to show what can happen when there's a crash and the person in the back is unbuckled. In a simulated 35-mile-per-hour impact, the unbelted dummy slams into the back of the driver's seat, pushing the driver dummy into the deploying airbag and steering wheel. Drivers are twice as likely to be killed in crashes when the occupant behind them is unrestrained.